Hey guys, so we've got a lot to do today and I'm kind of excited about it. We are going to be doing some work in our vegetable garden. Well, not actually in the vegetable garden, but around the vegetable garden. So all this, all the way down over there, that's basically it. And the reason for that is because it's finally time to put up a permanent garden fence. And that's mainly because of the rabbits and because of this one right here. What? What? Don't you bite my fig tree. No! That's why. The complete lack of respect for my garden. And of course, they're shredding trees across the way. Can you hear that? So I can't blame her. As a dog looking through here, she doesn't know what's path and what's bed. So it's best if I can just block her and the rabbits out of this entire area. So right here, coming out from the corner of the house, there will be a diagonal fence across here to this succulent, and there'll be a gate in the middle to get into the garden. That way all of this is blocked off. So that was down there. Now coming down here to this corner of the house, there will be a fence slash gate right here. So when this path is done, you'll come through the gate and then head down this way. And then just right on top of this wall on the inside, the other side, there'll be a fence that runs all the way down the length of this wall. And then on down here, so that there's a chain link fence over here where that ends. It's going to come out from that silver pole. It'll come straight down this way, parallel with all of these terraces. So that's where we just were. So there's some chain link here. So it'll start right about where Bella is, or that big log is, and it will come up this way and kind of curve around these terraces. So that will enclose the entire vegetable garden in. Morning, Daisy. So the fence will be very much like the corral fence. There will probably not be the center bar, and the bottom bar will probably be lower, and they might actually be laying this way rather than this way, the 2x4s. But they've got the wire in between. So somewhat rustic still. It does need to fit the Mediterranean theme, so it's not going to be painted white or anything like that. It's going to be very natural. All right, so today is our official start date for our Tomato Challenge 2024. I mentioned a couple of videos back, that I was going to be partnering up and collaborating with my friend Chad over at Down Home Backyard Gardening. It's his YouTube channel, and we are going to have a friendly competition to see who can grow the biggest tomato this year, the heaviest tomato this year. And we've decided we want you guys to participate as well. So throughout the challenge, we're going to use the hashtag Tomato Challenge 2024. And so I'm going to tell you the rules that we're going to abide by, and then I'll tell you how you can get involved as well. So for Chad and I, today is the official start. We're both starting today, and both of our videos come out when you'll be seeing this will be today. So I'm going to put a link to his YouTube channel, Down Home Backyard Gardening, in the video description. The rules for us, let's see, so we can grow 2 plants of the same variety, and that's just as a backup plan in case something happens to one, starting on the same day, and the goal is to grow the heaviest tomato by July 15th. So we have 4 months to do that. Now, neither one of us know which tomato or what tomato the other one is growing, so we could end up growing the same, although I doubt it when I tell you how I got mine. And if you want to participate in this, you start as soon as you can, and you have till July 15th. We're all going to end on the same day. And then there's a couple of ways you can do submissions. If you have a YouTube account, you can post a video there with the hashtag Tomato Challenge 2024, and we'll find it that way. If you don't have a YouTube channel, you can email either Chad or I, and let us know when you do this whose team you're on, because we're going to see whose team wins. So you know my team, Chad's team. I'll have both of our email addresses down in the video description. Now, I will say we're putting our email address out there. However, we will not be answering well, I'm speaking for myself, but I'm assuming Chad. We won't be answering gardening questions through email. I just can't do that. The email box would be flooded, and it's going to be hard enough for me to sort through these submissions. So there's that. Here's what you have to submit to be qualified to enter. Number 1, you have to show pictures, as many pictures as you can send, or a video throughout the process, but pictures that show kind of the growing process. But at very least, you need 2 pictures. One with the tomato growing on the vine, so we know you grew it, and then the same tomato in a second picture on a digital scale with the weight reading out on there. Yeah, I think that's it. So I'll put the link in the video description, but here now I'm going to be starting mine. I'm going to be using the double cup method. So I have a video I'll link down below to this method. And the seeds I got, and again, I have not told Chad what seeds I've got, and I don't know what he's growing either. These took forever to get. We had to push this challenge off because I wasn't getting the seeds. I think I ordered them on Etsy. I don't even remember. But when I got them, I realized why it took so long. They came from Israel. Had no idea. The name of the variety that I'm going to be growing is Tomato Gigantomo. It's supposed to produce really big fruits, so we'll see. If you guys don't know Chad, definitely check his channel out. He is a great guy. Single dad, Marine, and he is somewhat of a novice gardener. He's been doing it for, I don't know, 3 years or so. And he teaches that way. You know, you learn along with his successes and failures. And I think that that's such a fun way for new gardeners to be able to learn. Top them up with some vermiculite. So may the best man win, Chad, which is going to be me. And for you guys who are entering, Chad and I are putting together a prize package. So the winner is actually going to get something. All right, I'm excited to get this started. Here we go. It's a couple days later, early, gloomy. I get my chores done early because Noah is actually heading out of town with school today. Headed to Las Vegas. Christian school going to Sin City. Well, they're staying in Vegas, but they're doing a bunch of other stuff like Hoover Dam, and well, I think that's about it. So a couple videos ago, I talked to you about getting sheep. I revealed that we would be getting sheep, and that was going to be Daisy's new friends. but I didn't tell you the breed or anything else about it, so I had a lot of questions. We're back in full egg production now. This rabbit fluff for the material in here to pad it when the eggs come falling down. And it's doing better. It does stick to the eggs a little bit more, but so did the wood shavings. So this is not 1 day's worth of eggs, by the way. I think this is probably 2.5 days of eggs. But we're getting about 10 a day out of 14 chickens. A couple of these chickens are actually pretty old. In fact, the white leghorn came from our old house, and she's probably 4 years old, 5 years old maybe, and she's laying still about, I don't know, more than one every other day. So for that age, that's really good. Okay, right here. Right here. There you go. So back to the sheep. So the sheep breed is Old English Southdown baby doll sheep. They're a miniature sheep, a heritage breed. And they're from about the 1700s in England. They grow about 18 to 24 inches tall, and they weigh about 75 pounds, so small. We tend to like them small here at this homestead. But that's kind of the objective here. It's a small homestead, so we need to bring in smaller livestock. Now, the great thing about sheep in general is they will eat more weed type growth, foraging, than Daisy will. And the great thing about these sheep is they are great for orchards and vineyards, which we'll be having both. And so they can't reach that high, so they can't pick off the limbs and the fruit. They don't usually stand up on their hind legs. They can, but not as much as normal sheep and for sure goats. They don't try to escape very much. They will respect fences. They're calm, they're gentle, and they're just so stinking cute. And these are coming from the same farm Bella came from. And it's so weird because, you know, Emily saw baby doll sheep several years ago before we were here, and she thought they were so cute, wanted them. And it was kind of the same with the Dexter and the Maremma. Dexter cow, Maremma dog, Daisy, Bella. We had really come to the conclusion that those were the animals that we wanted here. And with all three, we were wondering how easy it was going to be to actually find breeders of those. But all three just happened to come up, and they were all within less than an hour away from us. To have the same farm that Bella was born, to have the same sheep that we wanted as well. But ask and you shall receive, I suppose. So I have another announcement to make that I'm really excited about. If you were with me a couple of years ago, you might have heard that the School of Traditional Skills asked me to do a raised bed gardening class, and I did. It was such a fun experience. We had a professional film crew come here to the house, and you know, they did the whole thing. And at that point, though, we hadn't even lived here a full year, and the garden, we had the garden done, but if you remember, we had salt issues in our compost, and so it pushed the garden back like 6 to 8 weeks. So we were late, and so when they came here to film, you know, everything was kind of still. There were no mature garden plants, so I didn't feel like I had a lot to show. But it went well, the class was well received, and they've asked me to do a second one, which I'm really excited about because this one is, because of my book, it's all about companion planting. It's a whole companion planting class. I'll put a link to School of Traditional Skills down below if you've never checked them out. If you're looking to do any type of homesteading, whatever level you're on, this is a great place to learn the skills needed for all of these things. We actually took their dairy cow class, and it was so good. Once we got done with it, we had no question. I mean, everything was answered for us. So anyway, I'll keep you updated on how that goes. They're supposed to be here the week of Memorial Day to film over a 3-day period. And so I'm hoping to be much more prepared than last time in terms of at least the garden being mature. That gives me a couple of months. So I'm planting a lot of the summer crops now. We still have some cool season stuff in. It may or may not be still good at that point. But I also want to get this area really cleaned up and looking really good. So I already talked about the fence that we're going to be putting in. I want to make sure that this wall is done. I want to get the stairs finished, and I want to get all of this area finished as well. Now, Bill is coming this Saturday, which is exciting because he's now going to be able to help me get this area cleaned up. I'm going to take out this old chain link fence. We're going to get a lot of these logs moved down here to help create our berm. The fence will run from like where this pole is down to there's an existing pole down there. So it'll come across a wood fence parallel with all of the terraces. And then this, rather than slumping down, is going to be built up to be level. Also, over here, this wall needs to be built up 3 higher, and then it's going to run across this way to hold in all of the soil up here at this level. And then this will be the end of the English garden and the beginning of our orchard. So I have a 2-month goal to get these things completed. Oh, and then I'm going to be making another tomato trellis for this bed, which will be on this channel in probably a couple of weeks. It's actually starting to rain a little bit more now, so I'm going to head inside. So today is a really special day because today is the day that I hit 1 million subscribers on Next Level Gardening. So we're watching the live count. Not like we're going to sit here all day, but we're just so close. There's one more. So this time, it's a big number. Like, I still can't even fathom it. I hit 100,000, I couldn't fathom it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Each one is special. The 100,000 was super special, and I wasn't expecting to cry. I did, and I've been made fun of by my nephew and niece and son for, you know, however many years, 4 years, because of that. But I was in a different place then, and there won't be tears on this one. It's just as special. But back then, you know, I was only 2 months out from my diagnosis for my aneurysm, going through a lot of anxiety and depression with that. And then the pandemic had just started, and, you know, that created all kinds of other issues. And ultimately, I was in a situation where, because of the pandemic, my business, my web design business, had fallen out from under me. And within just a couple of weeks, because of COVID, my YouTube channel took off and replaced my income. And it was a blessing. I don't know how I would have handled all of the anxiety and depression, the whole diagnosis, and all the things I had to go through with that, and still had to worry about a very stressful job. So those of you who are with me, you know, since then, thank you. You are a part of my whole recovery and just moving on to something better. So there were tears because it was just a very emotional time. Right now, I am just at such a great point in my life. I'm happy. I've been fairly anxiety-free since January when I had to go for my MRI, but it's good. It's good. In a good place. This channel, I think we just passed 60,000 subscribers. So, you know, who knows? Who knows when we'll hit 100 on this channel? Hopefully sooner rather than later. But just enjoying the ride. And I'm so glad you guys are all a part of it. I'll see you guys in the next video.